The quantum arrays aboard Research Station Hyperion hummed quietly in the darkness of deep space. Commander Sarah Chen stood at the observation deck, her dark eyes reflecting the distant stars. 20 years of deep space exploration had taught her to read the silence between worlds, but nothing had prepared her for what those arrays would detect today. "Commander," Lieutenant Raj Patel's voice crackled through the station's comm system. "We're picking up something unusual on the quantum frequency bands." Chen made her way to the detection center, where holographic displays filled the air with cascading data streams. Patel's fingers danced across the neural interface as he isolated the signal. "It's like nothing we've ever seen before," he said, his voice tight with excitement. "The pattern suggests artificial origin, but it's using quantum entanglement in ways our theorists said were impossible." The signal pulsed with an unmistakable rhythm, deliberate, desperate, and alien. Chen watched as the station's AI began decoding the complex mathematical patterns. Around her, the best scientists Earth had to offer gathered, their faces illuminated by the ethereal glow of holographic projections. "It's a distress call," announced Dr. Alina Santos, the station's xenolinguistics expert. "The translation matrix is picking up clear patterns of urgency and danger." Her hands shaped the air, manipulating the holographic symbols. "They call themselves the Arcanians." The message unfolded before them, images and data streams telling a story of a peaceful civilization under siege. The Nexar Empire, a species that had evolved in the harsh conditions of their binary star system, had embarked on a campaign of conquest. The Arcanians were just their latest targets. "Their technological development appears to be at least a century ahead of what we show the galaxy," observed Chief Engineer Marcus Wung. He highlighted sections of the technical data embedded in the transmission. "But the Nexar weapons systems are overwhelming them." Chen felt the weight of the moment. For 50 years, humanity had maintained a careful facade of technological modesty. After first contact, Earth's leaders had made the strategic decision to hide their true capabilities. The quantum revolution, the development of consciousness transfer technology, the creation of the Phoenix fleet, all kept hidden, waiting for the moment they would be needed. "Send an encrypted burst transmission to Earth Command," Chen ordered. "Priority Alpha, include all signal data." Within hours, the response came. Fleet Admiral Yuki Tanaka's hologram materialized in the station's secure briefing room. "Commander Chen, your station has just become the focal point of humanity's emergence onto the galactic stage. The Security Council has activated the Phoenix Protocol." Chen's breath caught. The Phoenix Protocol, the classified strategic plan for revealing Earth's true military and technological capabilities. "Admiral, are we certain? This would change everything." "The Arcanians aren't the first civilization the Nexar have attacked," Tanaka replied. "Our deep space probes have documented 7 other species they've either conquered or destroyed. Intelligence suggests Earth would eventually be targeted. Better to confront them now while helping another species than to wait for them to reach our doorstep." "What are my orders?" "Maintain your position and continue monitoring the signal. The Phoenix fleet is being awakened. The FSS Prometheus and her battle group will arrive at your coordinates within 72 hours. Your station will serve as the forward command center for our first contact with the Arcanians." As the hologram faded, Chen turned to her crew. "Send word to all department heads. I want this station at full combat readiness in 6 hours, and get me everything we have on the Arcanian signal's point of origin." Deep beneath the Pacific Ocean, in caverns hidden from prying eyes, massive hangar doors began to open. Ships that had never seen the light of day powered up their quantum cores. The Phoenix fleet, humanity's secret sword and shield, was awakening. In her quarters later that night, Chen studied the Arcanian transmissions again. Their plea for help had opened a door that could never be closed. Humanity had hidden its strength for half a century, playing the role of a young, developing species. Now that mask would fall away. "Help is coming," she whispered to the distant stars, where an alien civilization fought for survival. "And with it, a force the galaxy has never seen." On Earth, in facilities around the world, soldiers and crews who had trained in secret for decades boarded their ships. Quantum drives hummed to life, weapons systems initialized, and advanced AI systems awakened. Humanity was about to show its true face to the galaxy, and nothing would ever be the same. The FSS Prometheus emerged from quantum space in a burst of controlled energy, its massive form dwarfing Research Station Hyperion. Commander Chen watched through the observation deck as the rest of the battle group materialized. 15 ships that had never been seen by alien eyes, each representing the pinnacle of human military technology. Magnificent, isn't it? Fleet Captain Diana Wells' hologram appeared beside Chen. The commander of the Prometheus stood tall, her silver hair and sharp features reflecting decades of service in Earth's hidden fleet. Hard to believe we've kept them secret all these years. The Prometheus itself was a revelation. 3 kilometers of advanced alloys and quantum-engineered systems. Its neural-linked crew pods, consciousness backup arrays, and dark matter reactors represented technology that Earth's allies and enemies alike had thought impossible for humanity to achieve. Status report from the Arcanian sector, Lieutenant Patel announced from his station. The Nexar Empire has begun their final assault. Arcanian orbital defenses are failing. Wells' expression hardened. Then we move now? Commander Chen, your station's data on the Nexar fleet deployments has been invaluable. The Security Council has authorized full military intervention. We launch in 30 minutes. The hangar bay of the Prometheus hummed with activity as crews prepared for humanity's first major military operation in the galaxy. Captain Wells stood before the assembled fighter pilots, her voice carrying across the vast chamber. For 50 years we've hidden our strength, trained in secret, built weapons and ships that no one knew existed. Today that ends. She gestured to the sleek quantum fighters behind her. These QF-7 Phantoms can outmaneuver anything the Nexar have. Their neural interfaces and quantum targeting systems are generations ahead of known galactic technology. You've trained for this moment. Make it count. In the tactical center of the Prometheus, Chen worked with Wells and her staff to finalize the battle plan. The Nexar fleet is concentrated here. Chen pointed to a holographic display of the Arcanian system. They're not expecting any significant resistance. Their previous conquests have all been against less advanced civilizations. Then let's give them a surprise, Wells smiled grimly. Battle Group Alpha will quantum jump directly into their formation. Beta and Gamma groups will emerge from these points, cutting off their retreat. The Prometheus will lead the main assault. The quantum drive of the Prometheus hummed to life, its advanced systems preparing for a precision jump that would take them straight into combat. Throughout the ship, crews took their positions in neural interface pods, their consciousness backed up in quantum storage, a precaution that would allow them to be restored if their bodies were lost in battle. All ships report ready, announced Commander Sarah Chen from her temporary station on the bridge. She had insisted on joining the rescue mission, her knowledge of the Arcanian signals proving invaluable. Launch all fighters, Wells ordered. Squadrons of Phantom fighters streamed from the launch bays, their quantum drives leaving trails of blue fire against the void. Battle Group Alpha, prepare for quantum jump on my mark. In the space around the Arcanian homeworld, the Nexar fleet pressed their attack. Their commander, Supreme Warmaster Kexnar, watched with satisfaction as his ships bombarded the planet's defensive shields. The Arcanians were putting up an admirable fight, but like all the other species the Nexar had conquered, they would fall. Supreme Warmaster, his sensor officer's voice carried an edge of panic. Multiple quantum signatures detected, energy readings are off the scale. The space around the Nexar fleet erupted in brilliant light as the Prometheus and its battle group emerged from quantum space. The human ships, sleek and deadly, bore little resemblance to the primitive vessels Earth had shown the galaxy. This is Fleet Captain Diana Wells of the Earth Fleet ship Prometheus to all Nexar vessels. Wells' transmission cut across all frequencies. You are engaging in unauthorized hostile actions against a sovereign species. Withdraw immediately or face the consequences. Kexnar stared at the tactical display in disbelief. The energy readings from the human vessels suggested technology far beyond what Earth should possess. Impossible, he growled. Earth is a minor power barely capable of interstellar flight. All ships destroy these interlopers. The Nexar fleet turned to engage, their plasma cannons charging. But the human ships moved with impossible speed and precision. Quantum fighters phased through enemy fire, their advanced weapons cutting through Nexar shields as if they didn't exist. "They're using quantum-phased weapons," Chen reported, watching the tactical display. "The Nexar shields aren't calibrated for this level of technology." The Prometheus itself engaged 3 Nexar dreadnoughts simultaneously, its dark matter reactors powering weapons that the galaxy had never seen. Wells directed the battle with cold precision, coordinating attacks across multiple quantum dimensions. "Status of the Arcanian orbital defenses?" Wells asked. "Holding but barely," Chen replied. "Their ground installations are taking heavy damage." "Launch the rescue shuttles. Get our teams down there now. And send word to battle groups Beta and Gamma, execute quantum jump on my signal. Let's show the Nexar Empire exactly what they've awakened." As the battle raged above, humanity's true power was finally unveiled to the galaxy. The mask of technological modesty had been cast aside, replaced by the reality of Earth's hidden might. The age of secrecy was over, and a new chapter in galactic history had begun. The surface of Arcania burned. Through the viewport of her quantum-shielded shuttle, Commander Chen watched the Nexar bombardment tear into the planet's cities. Behind her, a team of Earth's most advanced combat medics and rescue specialists prepared for deployment. They carried technology that would have seemed like magic to most galactic species: nanite healing swarms, quantum stabilization fields, and consciousness transfer units for the most critically wounded. "Breach point identified," announced Lieutenant Patel through the neural link. He had insisted on joining the ground team, his expertise in quantum communications proving invaluable. "The Arcanians are holding a defensive line around their central archive. That's where most of the survivors are gathered." The shuttle dove through the chaos, its quantum drives allowing it to partially phase through enemy fire. Similar scenes played out across the planet as Earth's rescue forces deployed from the Prometheus and its support ships. Above, the space battle had entered a new phase. "Battle groups Beta and Gamma are in position," Captain Wells' voice echoed through the neural network. "Initiating synchronized quantum strike." Space itself seemed to fold as 30 more Earth ships emerged from quantum space, their arrival perfectly timed and positioned. The Nexar fleet found itself caught in a 3-dimensional cage of advanced human warships. Wells had arranged her forces in what tactical AI dubbed the Phoenix Formation, a complex battle pattern that utilized quantum positioning to maximum effect. On the bridge of his flagship, Supreme Warmaster Kexnar watched in growing horror as his carefully planned conquest unraveled. "How is this possible?" he demanded. "Earth's technology was assessed as primitive. Their ships were basic fusion drives and chemical weapons." His tactical officer, struggling to make sense of the sensor data, replied, "The humans. They've been hiding their true capabilities. These ships are using technology we've only theorized about. Their quantum manipulation is beyond anything in our database." The shuttle carrying Chen and her team touched down in what remained of the Arcanian capital's central plaza. The architecture around them spoke of an advanced civilization, graceful spires of crystal and light, now partially shattered by Nexar weapons. The first Arcanians they encountered stared in shock at their rescuers. "We're from Earth," Chen announced, her words translated by quantum field interpreters. "We received your distress signal. We're here to help." The Arcanians were tall, ethereal beings with iridescent skin and eyes that seemed to reflect starlight. Their spokesperson, identified as High Scholar Vexara, stepped forward. "Earth, but your people. We thought you were centuries behind us technologically." "A necessary deception," Chen explained as her medical teams deployed their equipment. "One that ends today." Above them, the battle took another turn as Captain Wells unveiled the next level of Earth's hidden arsenal. "All ships, deploy quantum mesh networks. Initiate Protocol Aegis." A web of quantum energy spread between the Earth vessels, creating a containment field that the Nexar ships couldn't escape. Their weapons, impressive by general galactic standards, seemed to splash harmlessly against the quantum-reinforced shields of the human fleet. "This is your final warning," Wells transmitted to the Nexar command ship. "Surrender and withdraw from Arcanian space, or we will be forced to demonstrate even more of our capabilities." Kexnar's response came in the form of a massive energy burst from his flagship's main weapon, a planet-killer beam that had ended civilizations before. It struck the Prometheus head-on. When the blinding light faded, the human ship remained unscathed. The quantum mesh had not only absorbed the energy, but was redirecting it back through the network of Earth vessels, charging their weapons to unprecedented levels. "You had your chance," Wells said quietly. "All ships execute Protocol Phoenix Fire." The combined Earth fleet released a synchronized quantum burst that cut through the Nexar ships like paper. Carefully calibrated to disable rather than destroy, the attack left the enemy fleet powerless and drifting in space. On the surface, Chen's team had established a secure zone around the Arcanian archive. The rescue operation was revealing another truth. The Arcanians possessed knowledge and technology that complemented Earth's own advances. Together, they might push the boundaries of science even further. "Your arrival changes everything," High Scholar Vexara told Chen as they watched Earth's medical technology save thousands of wounded Arcanians. "The galaxy believed humanity to be young, barely able to reach the stars. Now we see you had achieved mastery over quantum physics itself." "We kept ourselves hidden for this very reason," Chen explained, "to be ready when we were truly needed. But now—" She looked up at the sky where the battle was winding down, Earth's superior technology having ended the fight decisively. "Now the galaxy will know that humanity stands ready to protect those who need help." Through the neural network, she received Wells' latest update. The Nexar Empire's defeat at Arcania was sending shockwaves through the galaxy. Other species they had conquered or threatened were reaching out to Earth, seeking protection and alliance. The age of humanity's hidden strength was over. The age of responsibility had begun. The grand chamber of the Prometheus's Quantum Conference Center hummed with energy as representatives from 12 different species gathered for an unprecedented meeting. Commander Chen stood beside Captain Wells as holograms flickered to life around them, each showing leaders of civilizations that had suffered under Nexar oppression. 3 weeks had passed since the Battle of Arcania. The news of humanity's true power and their decisive victory over the Nexar fleet had spread across the galaxy like wildfire. Now, former victims of the Nexar Empire saw an opportunity for liberation. "The Nexar Empire has withdrawn to their core systems," Wells announced to the assembled delegates. "But our intelligence suggests they're mobilizing their entire fleet. They know their technological advantage is gone, so they're preparing to fight with sheer numbers." High Scholar Vexara, now speaking for a united Arcanian people, stepped forward. "We have analyzed the quantum technology Earth has shared with us. Together, we can enhance your systems beyond even their current capabilities." The hologram of Zarak, leader of the crystal-based Lumen species, sparked with interest. "The Nexar enslaved half our worlds, forced us to mine quantum crystals for their weapons. We know their weaknesses. We will join this alliance." One by one, representatives of conquered or threatened species pledged their support. Each brought unique technological insights and resources to the coalition. Earth's quantum technology, combined with Arcanian energy manipulation, Lumen crystal science, and the biological innovations of the aquatic Merkali created possibilities that no single species could have achieved alone. "The Nexar will strike soon," Wells warned. "They can't afford to let this alliance grow stronger. Our projections suggest they'll target the Helios sector, the center point between all our territories." Chen activated a holographic display of the sector. "We've detected unusual quantum disturbances in this region. Our scientists believe the Nexar are attempting to replicate our technology, but without proper understanding, they could destabilize the quantum fabric of space itself." The next few days saw the greatest mobilization of Allied forces in galactic history. The Earth fleet, now augmented with Arcanian energy systems and Lumen crystals, formed the spearhead of the coalition. The Prometheus, upgraded with new hybrid technology, led the charge. Wells stood on her bridge, watching as ships from a dozen species took formation around her fleet. "All Allied forces report ready," her tactical officer announced. "Quantum sensors detect a massive Nexar fleet approaching through hyperspace." "They're not using quantum drives," Chen observed from her station. "Their attempts to replicate our technology must have failed." The space around the Helios sector's primary star erupted as the Nexar fleet emerged, thousands of ships strong, representing their entire military might. Supreme War Master. Kexnar had committed everything to this battle. This ends today, his transmission boomed across all frequencies. Your interference in galactic affairs will not be tolerated. The natural order will be restored. Wells smiled grimly. Lieutenant Patel, show them our response. The quantum mesh network that Earth had developed now linked every ship in the Allied fleet. Arcanian energy manipulation synchronized with Earth's quantum fields, while lumen crystals amplified the effect exponentially. The result was something never before seen in the galaxy, a unified consciousness of ships and crews moving and fighting as one. Allied fleet, Wells commanded, her words carrying through the quantum link, execute formation avalanche. The battle that followed would be remembered for centuries. The Allied ships moved with impossible coordination, their quantum-enhanced weapons tearing through Nexar defenses. When the Nexar attempted to deploy their experimental quantum weapons, the results were catastrophic for them. Their quantum matrix is destabilizing, Chen reported. The power feedback is cascading through their fleet. Wells' voice carried authority as she opened a channel to the Nexar command ship. Shut down your quantum systems immediately, or you'll trigger a chain reaction that could destroy this entire sector. On his flagship, Kexnar watched in horror as his ships began to break apart from within. His scientists had warned him that their quantum technology was unstable, but he had refused to listen. Now, his hubris would be his undoing. The Allied fleet moved with surgical precision, using their advanced technology to contain the quantum devastation. Earth ships extended their quantum fields around failing Nexar vessels, preventing their destruction and saving countless lives, even those of their enemies. As the battle wound down, Chen received a priority transmission from Earth Command. The message was clear. Humanity's role in the galaxy had changed forever. They had emerged not just as a military power, but as guardians of peace and stability. Send word to all Allied ships, Wells ordered. Begin rescue operations for the Nexar crews. Today, we show the galaxy that power comes with responsibility. The Battle of the Helios sector marked a turning point. The Nexar Empire's defeat was total, but humanity's response, saving their enemies rather than destroying them, set the tone for a new era of galactic cooperation. As Chen watched Allied rescue ships assist stranded Nexar vessels, she realized that this was humanity's true strength. Not just the power to win wars, but the wisdom to build peace. The great hall of the newly constructed Galactic Concordat sparkled with crystalline light, its architecture a harmonious blend of all member species designs. Commander Chen stood at one of the towering windows, watching ships from across the galaxy dock at the massive space station. 6 months had passed since the Battle of the Helios sector, and the galaxy had transformed. Still taking it all in, Captain Wells approached, her formal diplomatic uniform a change from her usual fleet attire. Hard to believe how much has changed since that first distress signal. Before Chen could respond, their quantum communicators chimed simultaneously. The Nexar delegation had arrived for the signing ceremony, not as conquerors or enemies, but as a people seeking redemption and reconciliation. Supreme War Master Kexnar, now bearing the title of diplomatic envoy, entered the hall with his delegation. The defeat of his empire had brought unexpected changes. After experiencing humanity's mercy in the Helios sector, when Earth ships saved thousands of Nexar lives, his people had begun questioning their militant culture. Commander Chen, Captain Wells, he greeted them, his once proud voice now carrying notes of humility. My people owe you a debt we can never fully repay. Your decision to save our ships, to show mercy when you could have destroyed us. It changed everything. The main chamber filled with representatives from 30 different species. High Scholar Vexara of the Arcanians stood at the podium, her iridescent form glowing with quiet dignity. We gather today to formalize the Galactic Concordat, not an empire, not a confederation, but a covenant among equals. Lieutenant Patel, who had been instrumental in developing the quantum communication network that now linked all member worlds, monitored the massive holographic displays showing the ceremony to trillions across the galaxy. The core principles of the Concordat are clear, Vexara continued. Shared knowledge, mutual defense, and the preservation of each species' sovereignty. And at the heart of this new era stands Earth, not as conquerors, but as guardians. Wells stepped forward to sign for Earth, her stylus leaving quantum-encoded marks that would last millennia. We kept our strength hidden not out of fear, but out of wisdom. Now we use it not to dominate, but to protect. The signing ceremony marked more than just a political agreement. Earth's quantum technology, combined with Arcanian energy science, lumen crystals, and innovations from other species, had opened new frontiers. Medical breakthroughs were extending lifespans across all species. Quantum transportation networks were connecting distant worlds. Former enemies were becoming partners in exploration and discovery. "There's something you should see," Chen told Wells after the ceremony, leading her to one of the station's quantum labs. Inside, scientists from multiple species worked together on a revolutionary project. "We're calling it the Harmony Matrix, a quantum network that will allow instant communication and cooperation across the entire galaxy." "And the Nexar?" Wells asked, watching as a Nexar scientist worked alongside an Arcanian researcher. "Their warrior culture is evolving. They're turning their industrial might toward peaceful pursuits. Their shipyards, once building weapons, are now constructing exploration vessels and medical ships." A sudden alert drew their attention. The quantum sensors had detected something extraordinary at the galaxy's edge, signs of intelligent life from the neighboring galaxy, Andromeda. Another civilization, another potential friend or foe. "Well," Wells smiled, "looks like humanity's role as guardians might extend beyond just our galaxy." Chen looked at the data streaming in, remembering that first distress signal that had started everything. "Whatever's out there, we'll face it together, not just as humans, but as part of something greater." The Galactic Concordat was more than just an alliance. It was a testament to the power of unity, mercy, and wisdom. Humanity had emerged from hiding not to conquer, but to protect. Their strength had awakened not to destroy, but to build. As the ceremony concluded, ships from all member species joined in a synchronized quantum jump, their energy trails forming a brilliant aurora across space. It was a display of unity and hope, a promise that the future would be forged not through dominance, but through cooperation. "Send word to Earth Command," Wells told Chen as they watched the spectacle. "Tell them Operation Guardian Angel is complete, but our real work is just beginning." Chen nodded, knowing that humanity's greatest achievement wasn't the technology they'd hidden or the battles they'd won. It was the peace they'd built, the trust they'd earned, and the future they'd helped create. As the quantum lights danced across space, a new age dawned for the galaxy. And at its heart stood humanity, no longer hidden, no longer alone, but standing proud among the stars as guardians of a peace that would endure for generations to come.